Hello, welcome to Supreme Commander Forged Alliance. We're going to get a couple of games from ZLO, and this one he's going to be facing another Russian, Mad Mozart. Cybran on Theta. There have been some classic battles throughout the ages since the very beginning. And this is really going to be a contest of who is a little quicker. If you want to see who's better at micro, who has the faster hands, this is the map. And to make things a little strange though, ZLO is actually, out of all the top players, I believe, is known for being one of the slower players in terms of APM. I believe his APM something like 50 or something like that. At least that's what I heard. Maybe I'm completely making things up. Typically some of the better players have APM something like 70 or 80. Definitely not the 400s or 300s of StarCraft. But of course I can tap my finger on the desk as fast as I can, but that's not really that fun. So Mozart going 1 PGen, going to the Hydra, 1 PGen to the Hydra, nearly identical so far. So the question is, who's going to be more aggressive with the Manti and the Light Assault Bots Hunter moving out? So defensive for ZLO, a little more aggressive for Mozart, and then a scout. Looks like all land for Mozart, all land for ZLO, at least until the 5th factory. Hunter moves in. Looks like it hasn't been detected. No, it should have been detected. The engineer will be pulled back. And ZLO, successful defense. First kill is for ZLO. You see where ZLO went, sent his Mantis to protect the middle. Of course, there's about 1,000 reclaim in the middle. Maybe actually a little more if you get both sides. Engineer for ZLO is going to move in that position. And what this Mantis is actually doing is seeing that the ACU is late. The ACU for Mozart is going to be moving. He's going to try to get that. Mozart built 2 factories with the ACU, so he spent quite a bit of time ZLO getting the 3rd factory with the ACU. So quite slow with ACU. But he's making up for it with this engineer, which will eventually likely die. I'll actually make this 0 because stealthy scout moving in for ZLO, and looks like the first significant victory is going to be an expanding engineer. ZLO taking out an expanding engineer, and actually so far everything has gone well for ZLO because he got a whole bunch of free reclaim, allowed his ACU to stay back on base, get 4 factories built. That is actually quite remarkable, and a very aggressive move to the bottom. Nothing for ZLO to the top. There's a couple of Manti sitting there with nothing to do for Mozart. And expansion for Mozart has been quite bad. Only his ACU got 1 mass extractor that's far away from his original 4. Meanwhile, actually to the top, neither player really doing much. To the bottom though, this is the engineer, the analogous engineer that Mozart lost. He's going to be getting a couple more mass extractors for ZLO. He's already 1 ahead. He's going to be a couple more ahead soon. And ZLO now moving with the ACU to the top. The ACU for Mozart moving through the middle. And we're going to get a bit of a skirmish on the bottom, but it is going to happen on Mozart's side. The engineers for Mozart are doing reclamation instead of grabbing mass extractors. Looks like one of them will finally do that. And ZLO allowing a pretty significant push into his territory. Looks like we'll lose an engineer, and a good move from ZLO is going to deny all those mass extractors. Meanwhile, ZLO keeping his units together. This is something not to do. Mozart making a mistake. Units running in 1 by 1 are going to get killed by superior firepower. ZLO changes direction. He's going to meet this force head on, and Mozart will run away. It looks like finally on the bottom Mozart will get a significant force together and solve the problem. And looks like it's going to be a raid immediately for Mozart. So I can't really keep track of who got the better victories here, because there was a good work from Mozart up on top. On the bottom there were some problems, but they have been fixed and a lot of reclamation left over. Now this raid, if this raid is pretty good, he can get Mozart back in the game. Of course, as it stands, Mozart's 6 mass per second behind, And here, coming up minute 6, gonna be the first moment when the two ACUs will meet each other. Up top, nobody's got on the top ledge yet. And Mozart here, unless he retreats for no reason, should have quite a bit of success. Tech 2. So after 4 factories, ZLO goes Tech 2. We're gonna see Rhinos. Rhinos, excellent unit. 300 mass. So one of these costs the same as 6 Manti. And looks like this front line is very evenly divided. One more mass extractor for Mozart. ZLO retreating a little bit. Successful raid for Mozart. Mozart actually now ahead in terms of mass production. And a single mass extractor on Theta, if you can get enough map control and get one mass extractor advantage, you will likely win, unless you make some micro mistakes. Looks like slight numbers for Mozart, not surprisingly, because he did not go quick Tech 2, but we got air. We are gonna have bombers from Mozart. So Tech 1 air versus Tech 2 land. Let's see what's better. I would definitely pick Tech 2 land, and these Rhinos are coming out. Just a single Tech to flak will make things very difficult for Mozart's bombers. ZLO 1 kill, Rhino in the mix, Mozart 1 kill as well. And it does appear that ZLO playing very conservatively, giving up the top, but on the bottom we're going to see a couple of Rhinos. This will be a demonstration of how good the Rhinos are against Tech 1. You can see the range is quite significant. It is superior to a Mantis range. And as we're watching that, the two ACUs going at it. Numbers versus Tech. 4 kills on that Rhino. Another Rhino, multiple Rhinos moving in. And you can see the health in a Rhino nearly 2,000. The health on a Mantis is 270. Both ACUs nearly full health, though below more damage against Mozart. 6 kills versus 6 kills and a lot of reclamation. Oh, that was a nice dodge. Oh, and a loss. This is going to be a nice chunk of reclaim there. On the bottom, not surprisingly, we missed a massacre. 10 kills for these Rhinos, and they're going to keep going. It's going to be very difficult to stop for Mozart. Mozart doing some bombing. Tech to flak out. Takes care of the bomber. Significant advantage in terms of power for Mozart, which might mean more overcharges, which is perhaps something that he wants to get. Mozart here maybe in a bit of trouble. Getting hit quite hard. He's going to get his Manti on the case to protect the ACU. And this is really, these Manti know they're on a suicide mission. As soon as these Rhinos move in, they're screwed. But some gestures. No air for ZLO, so that means these Rhinos here are going to be vulnerable. Will take a little while for Jester to kill one of them, but it will. A point defense looks like will be denied. And something to look for people interested in quick Tech to land. You can notice that ZLO is still at only 200 power, so it doesn't take that much power to go Tech to land. For Tech to air, you needed quite a bit to get guns and things like that. You need quite a bit of power. For Tech to land, you just need reclaim. You need mass. And it's so far working quite well. Actually, it looks like one of these Rhinos will be killed. An engineer. See, these engineers are quite ambitious, getting quite a few mass extractors. ZLO now significantly ahead in terms of mass production, and the mass points just keep on falling for Mozart. Total map control, Tech 2 land taken over, and with Tech 2 land on Theta at Tech 2 engineer in the field, you can get a couple well-positioned Tech 2 point defenses. Can make a huge difference. And as soon as ZLO fixes this air problem, which here it is, this is the fix. There goes the gesture. So flak plus a couple of Rhinos. Actually, one of these Rhinos survived. That's a missed opportunity for Mozart. He might just pay for that. And Tech 2 land now for Mozart. You're going to have Rhino on Rhino battles. One Rhino to the bottom will be outgunned. This Rhino that denied all the mass structures to the top will try to sneak in. But definitely numbers for ZLO And ZLO getting quite a few reclaimables in the middle. Another thing to look at is the raider positions for Mozart. He's got good coverage of the bottom part of the map. There's a bit of a mystery for him up on top, perhaps raider here. Meanwhile, ZLO, there's really only one good raider up on top. This is all not covered. A couple of raiders here will be nice. And now it looks like 2 rhinos moving in will be a success. And this could turn into a problem for ZLO. 3 rhinos rolling through. No problems on the top. And Mozart, who has been beaten back, is in a position to fight back. ZLO meanwhile getting some tech on point defenses. And now we're seeing pretty much exclusively Tech 2, yet another Tech 2 helper factory. This factory is all making engineers and some interceptors for ZLO. ZLO catching up on power. We see any Tech 2 mass extractors? Nope. ZLO still in significant advantage in terms of production. In terms of reclaim, 3,600. Mozart only on 1,800. So nearly 2,000 advantage. An overcharge for Mozart. Mozart 11 kills. A couple of those have been Tech 2, however, so it helps on the veterancy. ZLO pretty much full of health. And now 3 versus 4. Once again, it looks like ZLO sent just enough units to counter. I don't think that was an accident. And let's see if he turns that into a counterattack. So we might see just a back and forth battle. Meanwhile, Mozart here in danger. I think Mozart, if he's targeted here, he might just die. 13 kills, I'm not really sure. But Mozart's veterancy is like, he just got a whole bunch of veterancy there. It's a good move from Mozart. See, his economy is looking really good. He's actually got 1,000 in the bank. He's not spending it because he does not have the power for it or build capacity. So he's got to get more power. Gestures now for ZLO, minute 12. And a couple tech on point defenses for ZLO to retreat to. Interesting, neither player choosing to use hoplites. I think 1 or 2 hoplites would be quite nice. Use the range. Very similar numbers in the middle. And a point defense, defensive point defense for Mozart. So it'll be interesting whether ZLO decides to attack or just keep these 3 rhinos for defense. These 3 rhinos is a 900 mass just sitting there. Playing defense, not doing anything. Just getting worse with time as inflation takes its toll. ZLO with a retreat, which might give an opportunity for Mozart to get a couple nice reclaims. These are Tech 2. 18 kills, 5,000 health, 17 kills, 7,000 health. Very similar. And ZLO does not want to just send his units without the ACU. In terms of numbers, 8 versus, it's either 8 or 9, I can't see, but now more coming in. Stealth and hoplites for ZLO. So ZLO switching it up a little bit. He's now going to have range and stealth. And Mozart really playing it dangerously. One interesting move with Cybran would be a couple of fire beetles, although it'd be very difficult to get close to a group of rhinos like this. But when an ACU does this, staying around 4,000 health, fire beetle will do 6,000 damage. You can't make him pay for it. The top seems to belong now to ZLO, who secured it with a Tech 1 point defense. He's actually going to get even more Tech 1 point defenses. And this is a very strange dynamic. It looks like, okay, so this is something about rhinos. They shoot very low. They cannot shoot a wall Tech 1 point defense. Mozart, I think Mozart has to die here. Oh, another very timely vet. But he still should die. If you just focus fire on Mozart and it's over. Instead, ZLO choosing to shoot units, allowing Mozart to take free shots, get more veterancy, and still, if ZLO keeps on pushing, this is over. Mozart pulling back with some units. This is exactly the opportunity to use a fire beetle to put this game well, I don't know if it's out of reach, but just end this game with a single fire beetle. And a Tech 2 engineer, anticipating some Tech 2 point defenses. ZLO just broke through. He just rolled in and started killing. I'm not really sure. It looked like it was very even numbers. Remember those three? They just walked this past this Tech 1 point defense, survived, and now they're going to start doing damage. It's going to be a lot of reclamation opportunities for ZLO. He's also got engineers who are going to deny mass extractors. Mozart on 15 production has a power advantage. And now these raiding tanks are going to be denied finally. And I'm not sure if it was the hoplite. I don't think it was the hoplite. I think it was the stealth that helped ZLO. Perhaps Mozart did not anticipate that attack. Had his tanks a bit out of position. And it was quite dangerous. Meanwhile, we have seen a couple air battles, which ZLO has dominated. And in this NG mod, we see a combination of assists plus 3 Tech 2 factories. And 1 Tech 1 factory for ZLO. So in order to come back, Mad Mozart here needs to pull out something crazy. Because he's in a position where things are going to get worse and worse for him. I did see a Tech 2 engineer, so perhaps a Tech 2 point defense to secure an area. Then a counterattack with all of his units into, say, either through the top or through the bottom. Maybe some mobile missile launchers, try to deny. But it's pretty even numbers in terms of just land units. And Tech 1 point defenses for ZLO. ZLO realizing just how powerful those walls are against Tech 2. And this is where a hoplite could help. And a very defensive Tech 2 point defense for Mozart. Gestures going to work. And this is not the type of Cybran on Cybran battle I expected. Usually there are a lot more manti, but with this NG mod, both Cybran players going straight to Tech 2, and it's been a Tech 2 affair for the last 10 minutes. It's a lost Rhino here. Not a good move order. This is where the factory move order doesn't need to just run in one by one into enemy territory. And some Tech 2 flak, but a Rhino moving in. This point defense, not a very good placement, right behind a mountain. We'd get a lot more kills if we could actually shoot. So nobody can shoot it, and it can't shoot anybody either. Rather sad. A couple of RDs would fix that problem. Mozart now 32 kills, but looks like got a couple more vets, and that was some great overcharges. I think Mozart actually, it's very difficult to look at vet. Oh, that's ZLO. Mozart. He's got 3 vets, whole bunch of mass, and reclaim. Overcharging Tech 2 units with the ACU really helps your veterancy. This is be a great target. If ZLO didn't run into this Tech 2 point defense and just went around, taking out the power storage and a couple PGens, mobile missile launchers now for ZLO on the field. That's to counter this Tech 2 point defense. Some TMD going up for Mozart. And this late in the game, given how effective the ACUs have been, I don't know if either player has the opportunity to put some stealth on him or even the gun. I think it could be quite nice. I think ZLO had some opportunities, especially Mozart has been very busy killing. And we're seeing some Wagners. Mozart going with Wagners. You see the Wagner has less health than the Rhino, but let's actually see what the difference is.
Commander under attack.
Basically the same health. The Wagner is a little more expensive in terms of power. I don't think it really makes sense except for the fact that the Wagner doesn't have those really low beams. I think in this situation Rhino is the obvious choice. The Wagner is good since it's amphibious. Go underwater. Yes, amphibious and underwater are two different things. Mozart getting some reclaim, minute 20. The reclaim counts 10,000 for Mozart. 12,000 for ZLO. A very even game with map control belonging to ZLO most of the game. And the Tech 2 mask extractors. This is why Mozart isn't behind. He invested quite a bit into his eco. You see no investment into Tech. There's one going to Tech 2 here, a mask extractor, and one Tech 2 mask extractor for ZLO. And this point defense has been a very big nuisance. And let's see how effective these Wagners are. Doesn't look like... maybe they can sort of shoot over this wall. Point defense died, not surprisingly. ZLO in full retreat, a couple more point defenses. And this forces actually a lot of mobile missile launchers. It's a superior force for ZLO. These point defenses will give some time for ZLO. And Tech 3. So ZLO going Tech 3. Should give an opportunity for Mad Mozart to grab back a little bit of map control. And it does look like the Wagners are a little better at killing point defenses. This is just so futile. It's just all kinds of sad. So the middle has been taken by Mozart, but he needs to make this count. Spread his units out a little bit, start killing mask extractors. Is he going to go Tech 3 as well? And this gesture encroaching on Mozart's territory. Mozart moving in together with his troops. Tech 3 nearly complete for ZLO. And ZLO is just giving away map control very quickly. See how effective these point defenses are, giving ZLO more and more time. Actually, a couple of Medusas together with these Tech 2 forces would look really good. Would really negate all this Tech 1 point defense nonsense, because these are just so effective. It's rather sad. Nice stealth field for ZLO. You can see Mozart. I'm sure he sees the missiles hitting him, but he has no idea what's actually there. And ZLO, some of the better Tech 1 point defenses we've seen in a long time. Bricks, straight to bricks for ZLO. And stealth bricks will be very dangerous. Mozart trying to make the best out of situations. We'll send a couple tanks to kill undefended mask extractors. Actually one right here as well. And this, for a while, there was a significant advantage for Mozart in terms of mass production. Mozart now beginning Tech 3. Not sure if he scouted. Well, he has to see, because this Tech 2 factory has gone dark like that. He knows that it's been upgraded or reclaimed. And once again, Rhinos falling to Tech 1 point defenses. Be curious to see how ZLO uses his brick. Looks like he's going to... What is the move order on that brick? I don't even see what it is. Rhinos struggling against point defense, but these ones don't have walls, so they actually have a chance. And ZLO, not too many mask extractors. Nearly at the Tech 3 stage now for Mozart. Mozart really needs to kill this Tech 1 point defense. I think the ACU with an overcharge would be nice. Tech 2 engineer in the middle, not doing much. Meanwhile, the brick looking to secure the top. Another brick out. Each one of these bricks, 1200 mass, which means same cost as 4 of these Rhinos, or 24 Manta. See a lot of flak. I'm not sure whose flak. Actually, it's not flak. It's just a new debris, new graphics. ZLO is going to get some radar. His whole force is stealthed. And is that stealth? Yeah, stealth field for ZLO's force here in the corner. He might just attack. I would imagine that as soon as ZLO moves in with the bricks, he will attack through the back door as well. Bricks for Mozart. And I do think ZLO here going a little slow. If he was a little faster with those bricks, this one has been sitting for a long time. And I don't know if he really needed a brick to take the top. This will give time for Mozart to get tech 3 of his own. And one thing that ZLO has had is much better air control, which means he's seen a lot more of Mozart's base. And tech 3 artillery. ZLO is known for making a great use of these, so we'll see where he puts them. The brick, meanwhile, will retreat against this tech 2 force, and very not advisable, a very ill-advised move for any tech 2 units to try to take on the bricks. High fire rate, a lot of damage, 300 damage per shot. But now brick for Mozart as well. Both players in the tech 3 stage, so 2 bricks, artillery, and another brick for ZLO. And we'll see the effect of this artillery. Should be parked. See the range. Maj is probably going to try to take those out. Yep. The tech 2 point defense will be the target. See the arty in the distance. Things aren't going well. Yeah, another arty moving in somewhere. Looks like this one's actually stuck. On the back door, the brick is going to put out this pathetic point defense out of its misery. Although it does look like it did get 4 kills. And ZLO with a nice attack. Mozart with stealth, trying to get close. I'm not really sure if he got a kill on a brick or not. He is going to go after the artillery. Getting hit by quite a bit of firepower. I'm seeing 4 bricks on the field, 1 on the back door, a stealth brick, 1 playing wide and 1 in the middle, another one coming in. Mozart really playing it dangerously. A brick here for Mozart. He would hate to lose that against an overcharge. Mozart yet another vet, and on the back door, brick on brick. And I think actually Mozart's brick is better there. And another brick for Mozart. Mozart quite low on health, but did deny the arty, which is quickly reclaimed by ZLO. So we've seen a really nice Cybran battle so far. Long tech 2 stage has now switched to tech 3. Huge veterancy from Mozart. And very timely too, because there's 2 bricks coming in. He needs to overcharge them as soon as possible, or he will die. And a huge loss now for ZLO. Mozart needs to kill his brick or he will die. And he kills it, but will he still die though? There's still a rhino. Mozart, under 2,000 health, retreats with huge kills. That was the entire tech 3 force. I'm not sure what that means, but it's neither English or Russian. It's probably a little more English. But a huge loss for ZLO. He just basically lost his entire tech 3 force. He's got a couple more moving in, but now we do see 3 bricks on the field for Mozart, which he can start using. Thing about Mozart though, he does have low health on the ACU, but it is a 5-star vet. His point defense surviving. I guess that's one weakness about Cybran artillery. Not a very good accuracy. He was aiming for that point defense, 5 shells. 1 of them hit. But the splash usually makes up for it. So against units, it's very nice. Similar to the Medusas. So more power for Mozart. Very similar power from these 2 players. One big difference, some power storage for ZLO. ZLO sitting on 2 tech 2 mass extractors. And looks like it's 2 tech 2 mass extractors for Mozart as well. And once again now ZLO will move in with this tech 3 force. He's got his artillery in position behind a mountain. This is not an accident. This is how you want to use your arty. This is now 4 bricks against 3 bricks. The bricks for ZLO, though, they do have stealth. At least they did have stealth. And one of these bricks is rather low health. You want to retreat those if you're one brick bites the dust. Mozart looks like he canceled that upgrade, whatever that was. Imagine something like gun would be nice. And actually he's low, even though he took those big losses. The fact that Mozart couldn't push with his weak commander has allowed ZLO to retain the middle, and there's still a lot of reclaim here, and ZLO is going to be gating that. So even though that ZLO suffered huge losses, it wasn't really a big strategic loss. And the reclaim numbers, you can see it's difference of about 3,000. And their artillery for ZLO continues to go to work. 3 kills, more bricks, more bricks. This is 4 on 4. And gunned ACU here would be very nice. I think that's what the Mozart was going for, but he just did not have the time. And here, a factory attack move with the engineer is very effective to get those huge chunks of mass in the middle. And the arty shells, 7 kills, also a mobile missile launcher, a brick moving to the bottom, so ZLO might be in a position to start attacking. His point defense was never, I thought it was dead at one point. Brick's getting hit. A brick's 89 health. Mech Marine is 90. Finally some stealth for Mozart. ZLO has definitely been a player who used stealth a lot more in this one. Interestingly, quite a few mobile missile launchers, and now Tech 3 engineer and some Tech 2 power for ZLO. One thing we haven't seen is cruise missiles. Cruise missiles extremely potent for Cybran, and this is actually a loyalist. And Mozart here in quite a bit of danger, doing some dodging. We'll move with his Tech 3 to try to defend. And actually, looking for both these players now, there is some TMD for ZLO. There is no TMD for Mozart, so a quick cruise missile launcher could be quite deadly against this Tech 3 factory, these Tech 2 mass extractors. Total recon for ZLO. Brick kills a loyalist. And Mozart forced back by this force of mobile missile launchers, which will allow ZLO to claim a little more territory in the middle. ZLO getting an upgrade. Imagine it's probably the gun or Tech 2. Tech 2 power would be another great target for a cruise missile. Tech 3 power for ZLO, who is now recycling, reclaiming his Tech 1 P-gens. As we're seeing this Tech 3 battle rage on. So Tech 3 power it's a rather big project. He might be made to pay if Mozart continues to make bricks. He might get numbers. But as it stands, there are numbers for ZLO. And Mozart here moving in, he needs, this could be the end. I think Mozart realized, I don't think there was any logic behind that move. He just moved in and died. So after 33 minutes, ZLO and a great Cybran battle gets the victory. Hello and welcome to Blasted, another game involving ZLO playing Cybran. This one is going to take on Varo. Varo here, MG, JK, DNSF. Somewhere top 15, close to top 10. Pretty good player is going to go with Seraphim. ZLO going first land. Looks like it's going to be second land, a couple P-gens. See how many engineers. Going to go 3 NGs. Assault bot NG. As Varo is going to go, looks like 3 engineers and then a rather large force, 2 Selines and 2 tanks. It's a little more engineering for ZLO early on. But if Vero can make those Selines and tanks count, perhaps he can deny a couple engineers. Otherwise, it'll be an advantage for ZLO. Blasted Rock needs no introduction. Of course, Civs in the middle, anti-air, take 1 point defenses. Quite a bit of mass if you choose to go ahead and kill him. People, for whatever reason, are usually busy fighting and don't do that. Looks like 2 engineers rushing this Hydra for ZLO. Second factory nearly complete for Vero. A couple more land factories, no sign of air from either player. And even though Vero did build more tanks than ZLO, ZLO hasn't been raided at all. So he could have probably gotten even more engineers. And now here comes a raiding group. Celine also scouting for Vero. He's looking for where the ACU is. He did not see the ACU moving down. He's gonna see the ACU still at base. The ACU for Vero moving up, so both players know exactly where the 2 ACUs are. A couple Manti die, retreat for Mantis, and an engineer here could be in a bit of trouble if it's found out. Mantis for ZLO is gonna come back home. And it looks like Vero is just gonna continue running in. ZLO, kind of crazy, gets 4 factories built before he moves out. It looks like he's going to meet Vero's ACU. And what ZLO has done, ZLO has gotten very quick gesture. He rushed the Hydro, but ZLO has given up map control for basically getting gestures and keeping his ACU at base and using it as a builder. And here come the gestures. ZLO will push Vero back. Should see some flag come out here shortly. And Vero is in a good position. If he sends some engineers grabbing these mass extractors, if he can secure it, he will have map control. And actually ZLO here, pretty big advantage in terms of health, but surrounded by land units. So it's air versus land. If the gesture is going to work, looks like they're focused on the ACU of Vero. Vero will retreat. So interesting opening to this one. Air versus land, and gestures still going to work. 6 kills versus 11 kills on the ACU. Map control, definitely an advantage for Vero, but not significant. It does appear the top will belong to Vero, but these gestures still being a nuisance. One of the gestures did die. Good quick Manti for ZLO will deny a Hydro and a mass extractor gesture going to the bottom. And with these gestures, as long as you stay away from the flag, it can be a total nuisance. It'll force the other player to make flak everywhere. If they make flak, they don't make land units. That gives a big advantage to your land units. ZLO looks like he is getting the reclaim from that early battle. But in terms of mass extractors, a significant advantage for Vero. And Vero also with a Hydra. So in terms of power production, 100 more for Vero. So far it looks like Vero is quite a bit ahead, except for those gestures. So let's see what happens here, minute 7. These Manti don't want to stand there too long. ZLO pushes out with ACU, and one other important fact, of course, is that Vero's ACU is rather low on health. If the 2 ACUs were even on health, I think this would be Vero's game. He would just push ahead. ZLO would never be able to do what he's doing now if Vero's ACU was the same health as him. So now ZLO will push ahead. This will really secure his air factory and the Hydra. He's got significant force up top. On the bottom, very even numbers and a group of gestures going to work for ZLO. And now ZLO will even out map control. Nobody has the bottom. The top, for the most part, denied. 1 mass extractor still alive. Vero pushes up, 15 kills, ZLO 12. Even numbers, but a point defense to retreat to for Vero. And looks like now these Manti will force Vero back a little bit, and tech to land for Vero. Tech to land versus air in this one, And those Ilshavas are going to be very powerful. So many Medusa shots. You see them in the air, and those red impacts. Thing about Medusas, they can hit anything. They're very poor accuracy, but in large numbers they will still hit you because they'll hit everything. And they will freeze your units, which means they can't move or shoot. And it does look like Tech 2 will allow Vero to counterattack on the bottom. There is a point defense here, not to neglect. The Mantis sneaks into the back of Vero's base, and there's still this group of jesters waiting for orders, waiting for an opportunity. And this is what happens. Ilshava getting hit by Medusa, wasn't shooting for a while. ZLO doing a good job keeping his ACU's health quite high. That's been his advantage this entire game. If you remember, some of those first gestures are the ones who made this game in favor of ZLO in terms of the health on the ACUs. Vera hasn't really been able to recover. And now Jester's standing by. Imagine if Vera goes low on health, those Jesters will go to work, and that Mask Extractor, really no excuse for ZLO to allow Vera to have that. Flak against Jesters. A couple Jesters do die. ZLO 34 kills, Vero 15. That's 20 kill difference, and that's really the difference in the game. A lot of flak, and an Ilshava here is going to take on a superior, well, maybe superior numbers force of Manti. And ZLO now pushing up, and this is an interesting combination of Medusas, more Medusas than Manti now for ZLO. And on Blasted Rock artillery, and yeah, Medusa's just taking over here. The thing about artillery for all factions is that the fire rate is so low, long reload. But when you're going slow like this, step by step, that's really not an issue. So you come in, you do a volley, you wait a little bit, you let your artillery reload, you push up a little again, and then just another huge volley. It works really well with a couple point defenses as well. It's also very effective for Seraphim. But Vera here, with a low health ACU, unable to really do much. And to counter this, already having a high health ACU is very useful. We can see how ZLO has been pushing ahead, using his ACU as the front. Meanwhile, Ilshava here, 2 kills. Map control firmly in ZLO's favor, and ZLO just pushing all the way into Vero's base. See, frozen Ilshava is not firing. And Tech 2 versus Tech 1, we're seeing that Cybran need to be nerfed. Tech 1 versus Tech 2. Tech 1 is basically winning here. See a lot of shots actually hitting Vero's ACU, who's been under half health this entire game. Ilshava doing great work on the bottom, trying to keep Vero's hopes alive, but after 13 minutes, Medusas win. Great gestures from ZLO, as always. Hopefully people enjoy this.